Hi, and welcome to your first lesson in creating an app in code.org. So we're on our homepage. You're going to click on the Create button, and you're going to go down to App Lab. And that is going to then bring up a blank app for you to work on. First thing I always like to do is go ahead and rename it. It's called Untitled Project right now. I'd like it to be called Demo 1. So I'm going to change it to Demo 1 and click Save. The intro screen here is this is the preview window, the code blocks, and the workspace for the code. We're not going to be doing any code today, so we're going to go ahead and click over on Design. And now you're going to see your Design toolbox and then the properties for those tools. When I go to create my app, the first thing I'm going to do is design that app by adding things to it to make it look like what I want it to look like. So in order to do that, I'm going to go ahead and add a few items. So I'm going to add a button. I'm going to add, say, 2 images. I'll add a label. So you can see that you can add all kinds of different things. So if I'm going to focus on the button to start with, I can make the button bigger or smaller just by dragging it. I can also adjust that in the Properties window. So in the Properties here, I'm clicked on the button. That's what's highlighted. So this is showing me the properties of that button. And there are several different properties that you can change or mess around with. First one I always like to mess around or fix is the ID. I want to make sure that my button is named appropriately so when I go to code, I can use it easier. So I'm going to rename this Start Button. That lets me know that it's a button, and it's also telling me kind of what that button was in case I had more than one of them. And I'm going to change the text on it to start so you can see that. You can also change text color or background color. I'll quickly change one of them. We'll make the background blue. You can go and fix the text. You can use RGB values. You can use the hex values, or you can just use the color windows like I did. You can change your font size, font color. Those are all just different things to play around with when doing that. The second item I want to look at right now is an image. So when you add an image to your screen, you can see that there's not an actual image on it yet, so that would be up to you to add it. Again, I would want to change the ID. I might call this cat image, and then that way I know that that one is the one holding the picture of the cat. Down under image is where I actually choose my image. So if I go to choose, you'll see that I don't have any files, so I can go to upload files. And it'll take me to my own drive. So if I've downloaded a picture of a cat, say, which I did, and it would bring me that. And now I can go ahead and choose that picture. And you can see that the cat shows up. You can have it just contain the image. You can have it fill. If I fill, it kind of might distort your image a little bit if the size isn't the same. So that's up to you. The other way to get images, and they're just kind of icon images, is let me just take this second image and I'll scroll down, and under choose, I have my cat file in there that I'm already using, but there's also something called icons, and there's a bunch of different icons that you can use sometimes to spruce up the look of your app. So I'll just choose the little airplane icon to get started. Other things that you can do, if you click directly on the screen, you can put a background color or image for the screen itself. So like, let's say I want to change my screen to red, or if I wanted to add an image to the background of the screen, I could also do that if I would like. If I'm making an app that has more than one screen, up here under the drop down, I can go ahead and say new screen, and it's going to create a screen called screen 2. And then I can go ahead and add things to it just like I did before. One more comment, I just added a radio button. And one thing I do want to mention about a radio button while we're here is that if you are to add a radio button, then you always need to add a label next to it so that you can describe what that radio button's for. Otherwise, you're just going to have a blank radio button on your screen. So that's a quick little demo of how to do design. It's a good time now to really get in, add some things to your screen, work on changing their properties, and just play around.